It is illegal to park if a crosswalk is within A. 5 feet, B. 30 feet, C. 10 feet, D. 20 feet. It is illegal to park if a crosswalk is within D. 20 feet. It's important to know some of the places you are never allowed to park your vehicle. It's also important to realize that these illegal parking spots may not always be marked by a "no parking" sign or painted curb. Parking within or too close to a pedestrian crosswalk is not allowed. You are driving on a dry road, and it begins to rain. You should A. Drive no slower than 25 miles per hour. B. Drive no faster than 25 miles per hour. C. Speed up before the road gets too slippery. D. Slow down because this is typically when the road is most slippery. You are driving on a dry road, and it begins to rain. You should D. Slow down because this is typically when the road is most slippery. When it is raining, the road is typically the most slippery during the first 10 to 15 minutes of rain. This is due to water mixing with oil that has collected in the pavement, making for slicker conditions. Whenever it begins to rain, you should use more caution as you drive and stay alert. When parking uphill with a curb. A. Turn your wheels away from the curb. B. Turn your wheel towards the curb. C. Make sure your wheels are straight. D. You must use wheel chocks. When parking uphill with a curb. A. Turn your wheels away from the curb. When you're parking uphill next to a curb, you'll want to set your parking brake, place your transmission in park, and turn your wheels away from the curb, or towards the street. If your parking brake fails and your vehicle begins to roll, the front wheel will catch the curb and stop it from rolling away. Had your wheels been facing the other way, it is possible for your vehicle to roll into the street and cause an accident. You are not allowed to park within how many feet of an intersection? A. 20 feet. B. 30 feet. C. 40 feet. D. 50 feet. You are not allowed to park within A. 20 feet of an intersection. You are not allowed to park and leave your vehicle within 20 feet of the nearest intersection. You are only allowed to park and leave your car where it is legal and safe to do so. You must look for no parking signs, painted curbs, and refer to your state's parking laws to make sure that you are parking in a place where it is permitted. When the foot brake is pressed, which light must come on? A. Emergency flashers. B. Headlights. C. Brake lights. D. Tail lights. When the foot brake is pressed, which light must come on? C. Brake lights. Your vehicle's lights are an important part of sharing the road and communicating with other drivers. All vehicles are required to be equipped with working brake lights. When you press the brake pedal, your brake lights, which are red in color and located on the back of your vehicle, need to light up. What do yellow curbs mean? A. Loading zone. B. Handicap parking. C. Fire hydrant. D. Emergency parking only. What do yellow curbs mean? A. Loading zone. The color painted onto a curb alongside of the road communicates whether or not you can park there and what type of parking is allowed. A yellow curb is used to indicate a loading zone for passengers or cargo. When you see a yellow curb, you are typically allowed to park there only as long as it takes for you to pick up or drop off passengers or freight. When driving in fog you should A. Use your hazards lights. B. Use your daytime running lights. C. Use your high beam headlights. D. Use your low beam headlights. When driving in fog you should D. Use your low beam headlights. Visibility is greatly reduced in foggy conditions. The safest thing to do when the fog is heavy is to not drive at all. If you're able to wait until the fog has cleared to continue your trip, it is smart to do so. However, if you must drive in the fog, you should use your low beam headlights. A pennant-shaped sign means A. No passing zone. B. No parking zone. C. HOV lane. D. Lanes merge. A pennant-shaped sign means A. No passing zone. A pennant, or flag-shaped, sign is used to indicate a no passing zone. These signs are yellow with black lettering that reads, No passing zone. When you enter the area where the sign is posted, you must not overtake other vehicles. Are bicyclists required to obey traffic laws and signs? A. Bicyclists are not required to obey yield signs. B. No, bicyclists do not need to obey any traffic laws. C. Yes, bicyclists must obey traffic laws. D. No, bicycles must be ridden on the sidewalk. Are bicyclists required to obey traffic laws and signs? C. Yes, bicyclists must obey traffic laws. Bicyclists have the same rights and responsibilities to follow traffic laws and road signs as other motorists. While it is important for drivers to watch out for bicycles and give them plenty of space, bicyclists must also obey the rules of the road to reduce the chances of a collision. First, bicyclists need to be in control of their bike and ride in the proper position on the road, which may be a dedicated bike lane or a shared roadway. Next, bicyclists should wear the necessary safety gear and be sure to make themselves visible to other motorists. Finally, bicyclists should obey all traffic rules. When backing out of an angled parking space, you should always move slowly and A. Use your mirrors to see as you back up. B. Look over your shoulder as you back up. C. Honk your horn to warn other drivers. D. Apply the accelerator. When backing out of an angled parking space, you should always move slowly and B. Look over your shoulder as you back up. Angled parking spaces along the side of the road have the benefit of being easy to pull into, but can be challenging to back out of, especially if traffic is busy. The reason why it is difficult to pull out of an angled space is because cars parked next to you and other obstructions can make it difficult to see oncoming traffic in the street as you back out of the space. Great job! Here are some of your next steps to getting your learner's permit or driver's license. Read and study the official driver handbook from your state DMV. Take more free practice tests at puedomanejar.com. Gather all your necessary forms and documents before you visit the DMV office. Before you know it, you'll be driving in your very own car all by yourself. puedomanejar.com. Free DMV practice tests and much more to help you pass your real exams. Visit us today.